Hi. This video will present an example of using Survey123 for ArcGIS to gather employee health status securely and easily. Survey123 is a great Esri software tool for gathering this sort of information. And to help us bake in the flow of rules that drive the process, we'll use ActiveG Nash workflows. But first we need to understand what the process is, and it goes something like this. The employee receives an email invitation to complete the health survey. The employee then clicks a link in the email to open the Survey123 survey. Then the employee either agrees or declines to report their health status. If the person declines, then a message is sent to the HR administrator to follow up personally to address the employee's concerns or needs. If the employee agrees to report his health status, he answers some questions affirming good health. Then he receives notification via email to report to work. If the employee's health status is not good, he receives instructions on remaining at home and getting care. In both situations, the employee supervisor is notified of her employee's status. Of course, your specific use case may be different, but you can use this flow as a starting point. Now, Milton will dig into the details of how to configure the Nash workflow to enable this process flow within ArcGIS.
Hello, I'm Milton Williams with ActiveG. I am going to show you a COVID-19 employee reporting tool. This is just a sample I made up. It doesn't meet any specific legal guidelines. It's modeled on something I saw and I've changed a little bit to be just a little bit more secure. So we're going to be using ActiveG's Nash to provide the logic for the backend and to send emails to parties as appropriate. And we'll be using Survey123 to actually send the data. So this is going to be just a short overview. I will do another video that shows you how to build everything and kind of use it as a training session for inputs and connections and switches and pretty much everything Nash, just in a really simple, fairly compact flow here. So first thing is we have connections to a list of employees and contractors. This is in ArcGIS. It's behind the firewall and protected. We have a survey that the employees can fill out. It has a person ID that is encoded so that even though this is a public-facing survey, all that data is anonymized so that the data is secure. And then the last thing is an admin email. I'm just using my work email, miltonwilliams@activeg.com. Send me an email. Anyway, yeah. So let me show you the workflows here. This first one's going to send out an invite email. If you look at the employees and contractors, I've got Clark Kent here, and I've got myself. This is my encoded supervisor. I'm Clark Kent's supervisor, so telling Clark what to do here and oblivious to everything. So we're going to go ahead and send out emails to everyone that tells them how to submit data to us. So here is Clark Kent's email, and you can see that Clark Kent just received an email with a link to our Survey123 document. So his person ID is encoded here. That's not recognizable. It could be anyone. So this link is specific to Clark Kent. If he gave it to anyone else, it would look like Clark Kent was submitting it. So let me go ahead and show you how Survey123 works here. Survey123 is a great tool from ArcGIS. Esri, it's very easy to set up. I threw this together yesterday afternoon. It took me about 3 hours to do this whole setup. Had a few hiccups, but every project does, mostly because I just didn't know what I wanted to make exactly. So Clark Kent has the option to accept or decline submitting this information. When he accepts, we give him all the rest of the questions. So he can still decide to decline and then go away. So let's give him a temperature of 100.3. He's running a little warm. He hasn't had any hasn't had a temperature in the past 3 days. He's not been caring for someone with a temperature, and he's not been going any place where he shouldn't be, where they're not social distancing. So now this is submitted, and this is all sent to the back end and is now stored in ArcGIS Online or your portal or whatever you've set up. Now I'm going to come back into Nash here, and I've got another workflow. And this workflow is a little more complex than the first one where we sent out the invite email. This one's going to evaluate whether he declined it. If he declined it, it's going to have HR respond, send them an email saying you need to contact Clark Kent because he declined to respond, and whatever the action they're going to take is there. Now, if he's running a temperature over 100, we may not want him to come into the office. So there's a potential of being, basically we're just trying to do risk reduction here. So if he has a temperature, or he's had a temperature in the past 3 days, or other symptoms, or he's been exposed to other people, each one of these, when they're answered in a negative light, or he has been exposed to those, or he's had a temperature, we want to send a supervisor an email saying that he will not be coming in today. And we also want to send an email to the employee telling them you've been excused today and giving them further instructions from there. And then the final thing we do is mark the survey as complete so that we don't keep resending stuff out when this processes. So I'm going to go ahead and run this, and we'll see that 100.3, the supervisor here, I'm the supervisor, Milton Williams here. Oh, this is my email to submit my survey. And I just received an email that Clark Kent will be out. I go to Clark Kent's email and refresh that. Do not report to the ActiveG site. So this is just a really simple workflow to show you some of the things that you can do. You can get way more complex than this. If you want to see more, I'm making another video about how I built this whole thing. Thanks for your time.